Morning to you. Let's turn our attention to housing and a little bit of politics. Plans to build 3,000 new homes in Billericay today. The group trying to stop those houses will up the ante as it tries to build support.
What we have at the moment is a plan to build houses, not communities. And that's really the big flaw in this plan. And it's not just Billericay, it's Basildon wide. The local plan at the moment is flawed for the residents of the borough.
3,000 houses is about 25% increase in the population of Billericay. And that's 25% more houses, people, cars, people trying to get to work, people trying to commute at the station, try to get to kids to school. That's a significant growth in Billericay, and that needs a lot of very careful planning.
The key issue in all of this planning is the term sustainability. The government requires new house developments to be sustainable. They don't necessarily define what sustainable is, but it's fairly easy to come to a simple definition, which is that the new houses you build don't materially worsen the quality of life of the people who already live there.
All we're trying to come up with is a better plan, an appropriate plan that's sustainable for Billericay in the long term. That's all we're trying to do here. It may be 2,000 houses at the end of the day, it might be 1,000, but we don't think the plan is sustainable as it is.
We know Queen's Park was the biggest development we've had in history, which was less than half of the proposed housing now, but it was built with its own community, its own road structure, its own doctors and opticians and supermarket and a pub, and we're not getting any of that, and it wouldn't be possible to squeeze that into these pockets of greenbelt.
And I think what we're seeing with the plan for Billericay is that those 3,000 houses definitely will worsen the quality of life for existing residents.
You need to address the traffic increase, you need to address things like schools, doctors, car parking, various things. We don't feel in this particular local plan hardly any of that has been adequately addressed.
One of these houses is effectively going to produce commuters. So 3,000 houses, 6,000 commuters. So immediately we see there is the impact on road and rail. We know that the rail infrastructure does seem unlikely to be able to cope with that growth. Bear in mind that it's happening all down the road as well. So Wickford, Southend, Rochford, they're all getting extra passengers.
Rise, Fifthwood,
Down here,
which you're quite near to where the relief road's going to go.
One primary school is planned and that's it. So it's not really about the number of houses, it's about what the plans are for the town to cope with it.
I'm a teacher, so obviously I'm aware that all the schools in Billericay are full, and whilst I know they're proposing one 3-form entry school, I can't see how that's going to cope with potentially the number of people that will live here, and the knock-on effect for the secondary schools.
My daughter works at Southbury School, she's a TA. And
You're very much in touch with them, yes.
3,000 houses, no infrastructure. Where are we going to actually put all the cars and the people?
This little black line is a new road, right? It won't cope with that number of people. It's just going to move the traffic problem somewhere else, plus another 6,000 cars. Billericay can't cope. That's why we've been fighting this. It's a disaster today.
The impact that's going to have on the residents of that road and the roads that feed into it and that whole area, I don't know how that will cope because the traffic is horrendous now at certain times of the day.
As far as trying to come out and onto Tycommon Road, it will. There's all of it, particularly this area, the southwest area of Billericay is being heavily hit with, yeah, absolutely we are.
I think one of the things that people are expecting from this plan is affordable housing. And that word, is a very powerful word, and obviously a lot of people are struggling to get onto the housing ladder. Unfortunately, we're not likely to see a lot of cheaper housing in Billericay. We might see some social affordable housing, but the majority of the housing in Billericay will be market-priced executive homes for people that probably don't live here today. There will be people that come here, commute to London, putting more pressure on the infrastructure. So, we all need to fix the housing market, but by simply building lots of houses doesn't make them more affordable.
BAG has spent the last 4 years trying to ensure not that we don't get a plan, we want a plan, but we want a good plan. We want a plan that benefits all the residents of Billericay and the new people that come to Billericay. We'd like to see benefits for people here as a result of the extra housing.
We can only encourage you to respond to the public consultation that the council will be releasing very soon. It's called Regulation 19, it's fairly technical, but we will give everybody some advice and guidance on how best to respond to that.
Regulation 19, you will be asked to respond, and we're saying to people, don't give up, respond on this, be absolutely factual and pragmatic. When people get all emotive, you can't build whatever, it doesn't mean enough.
derogatory to us.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't know the answers to a lot of this.
So we can't tell people what to write, but we will absolutely help.
A leaflet will come through every single door in Billericay, and that leaflet will tell them that Regulation 19, the public consultation, has opened, and everything they will need to do will be in that leaflet.
If several thousand people in the town would respond individually to that, that would help greatly to build a picture for the planning inspector who will review it all, to build a picture for him that says people aren't happy.
We're going to get a team together after today to get ready for that, because obviously until the council releases it, we don't know quite exactly the format.
We need to make this the biggest response to a consultation that has ever been known in the history of Regulation 19s.
We just want people to be both upbeat in terms of believing we can affect this, but also a bit angry, because we want people to be annoyed enough to want to do something.
And that way Billericay's voice cannot be ignored. This inspector will listen, we are told, if they get enough responses, and we need that to happen.